Hi, Mark from Adelaide Sword Academy here. I was lucky enough to bag a couple of amazing prizes last weekend when I went out to War in the West, which was run by then House Dark Sun, now Ursa Major, and they're a great bunch of guys out there. It was awesome fun. And they had some awesome prizes for us. I'll show you them. Okay, so here is the first of the two items that I picked up from War in the West. I'm very lucky enough to do. The Sigi buckler. Now, I mean, I am really spiffed to have picked this one up. Big sword and buckler person, love playing a sword and buckler, and there aren't as many suppliers or many people out there. The bucklers that you can get are heavy, unwieldy, and poorly balanced, generally speaking. You know, so they're really towards a reenactment market. But this is everything but that. So like, oh, you don't need a buckler. And it's true. I mean, I've made a bunch of bucklers over the time. All you need is a boss. It's not hard to make, do. But I thought that I had a couple of decent bucklers, and I was wrong because I picked this one up. Let's go through a couple of its characteristics. The weight first is just spot on. It's fantastic. I can hold it out at like extension and with no problems. Okay, so that means that actions with the buckler are very easy to do. The balance. It is really agile. It's very easy for me to change because it's very well balanced in the hand there. See, it makes it very agile and able to change my angle. So against thrusts, that's a big deal. Because if your buckler is unbalanced, that makes changing the angle to keep your coverage very much more difficult. This, very easy. It's the first sort of buckler that I go, starting to feel confident keeping somebody's point out really well with. So that's really cool. Very good. I mean, the overall finish of the buckler is just lovely. Absolutely lovely. I'm so privileged to have one. Nice standing up on the back. The hide here, as you can see, is put on really well. The boss, nice and deep. And that also affects and helps you get some really good coverage behind the buckler, just gives you that extra thing. Helps traps the sword, but it's not a big deal on this one. Yeah, I really enjoy. I picked this up on the weekend, and after I played with it a bunch and feels fantastic to play with. So I reckon almost any sort of buckler form that you practice, this is utterly ideal. So a fantastic, absolute top-rate buckler, and that's a piece of equipment that most people don't think to really put any much effort into. So well done to Sigi Forge for putting together such a good piece of equipment. I am so excited about that, so intrigued. I'm utterly going to have to pick up their faders because if this is so good, I want to be swinging a Sigi fader at tournaments as well. So, well done guys, this is a great buckler. 100% recommend to anyone who would want to pick one up. Go do it. Okay, so second item is this Pike Armory rapier, and it is a fantastic sword. You know, I'd be very hard put to critique almost anything about the sword, except maybe just the fact that the handle here is sort of slightly unfinished, which is not quite in keeping with the rest of the sword, which is fantastic. I was really lucky enough that this is perfect length for me. The cross there is sitting exactly into my navel, which is pretty cool. So the first thing I'd like to bring attention to is the blade, which is really fantastic. Now you can see that we start here. We start with a lenticular section, okay? And then it moves from a lenticular section into a diamond section, and it is done really well. See if we can get that. Okay, so really splendid work there, and that gives the blade itself a lot of authority in the bind, right up to the medulla of the sword. It's very, very satisfying. And as you probably would have seen there, I've played with it already, done a few cuts at decent strength, and the edge is holding up very, very nicely. It's got a nice square edge. Doesn't seem to be burring at all. It's very good. So it's agile and responsive, and I'm just really impressed that they can do that blade profile. That's fantastic. Handle here, as you can see, nice and short, and the pommel is right on my wrist there. So if you're wearing a bigger glove, there might be a little bit of issue holding the sword, but that's really not much or anything. So I'm going to probably have to get slightly lighter gloves to hold it nicely. So my grip is fantastic. It's light in the hand. It actually, I've found that it cuts readily as well as keeps the point on line. Overall, a fantastic sword. And because I'm not 100% a rapier guy, though I do enjoy it, I've also got my friend Sean Reichman from Queensland, and he had a bit of a play with this as well, and he'll give you, and I'll put his thoughts on this review as well. So, in some, fantastic rapier, and it's going to really, grabbing enough has really encouraged me to pick up and play at rapier, because it's a fantastic tool, very, very rewarding to work with. Hey Sean, so you had a bit of play with the Pike Armory rapier that I won, which was lucky. What were your impression of it?
I really loved it. It had a really nice blade shape, and it tapered out nicely towards the end in both directions.
Yep.
The feel of the cup was good. The shaping for the handle fitted in my hand very nicely.
Yeah, it's cool.
Possibly a little bit long for what I want to sit right in the channel of my wrist, but very nicely done. The ricasso narrowed out, which was a little disconcerting at first, but it's quite wide, so I could still get my pinch grip on it. So that was really nice as well. And it just moved really well in the point work. It was good.
Yeah, it's easy to keep the point on line with it. It's good stuff.
Yep, it was a smidgy bit long for me, so I had a little trouble with cutting, but I think was just, I'm used to more like a 40 instead of a 43.
Yeah, 43,
so,
yep. Cheers, mate, thanks.